Worldwide wealth is the concept that there is already enough. There's already enough resources on this planet that if we connected them in the right way would give us the chance to right every inequity. There is already enough around us, every one of us, for us to be able to, if we just connected with those resources in the right way, create and provide whatever it is that we want to achieve in our life. And it's this concept that by us collectively working together, we can create that global plumbing system. Now, we're really lucky that the United Nations got together at the beginning of this millennium and set these 8 Millennium Goals, which are really the promise of our generation. Everything from an end to poverty to education for all, something that's going to be close to every one of our hearts, but each one of them that we can only get to collectively by working in the right way together. And as entrepreneurs, we each have that power. If we start to connect in the right way, we need an infrastructure to do that and a language to do that. And what Excel Nation does is it gives us that language. As an Excel citizen, it's my commitment that I operate not as a go-getter but as a go-giver, that I am doing it within an ecology of other citizens in a community where each of us is coming from a place of belonging, that we actually have a common goal, and that common goal is worldwide wealth. Some people might look at something like Excel Nation and say, so is it an entrepreneur network or is it a community of some sort? The way I look at Excel Nation is it's not a place to go to, it's a place you come from. When I wake up every morning, I'm waking up into the knowledge that I already have got all the resources in this global community, which enables me to be able to achieve whatever it is I might choose to achieve with the right other people, with the right expertise, and with those right resources as well. And that empowers me to be able to think bigger and to expand my own sense of what it is that's possible. When we launched Excel in 2002, at that point we started with a simple notion. If we just kept on showing up, stepping up, giving back in our city, and other cities around the world did the same. So we actually created this network of giving. If we did this in a way that allowed us all to empower ourselves more, surely we would be able to affect worldwide wealth. Well, as the economic crisis came, we discovered something, which is in the same way that the hierarchies of the old were falling, and so were the ones within Excel itself. Those hierarchies were bursting at the seam. Something new was taking place, because this plumbing system is not some mechanical system, it's an organic system. And so there is a DNA within that, which when we discover it and then we replicate it, allows every single one of us to be part of this change. And that's what Excel Nation is. It is the living, breathing embodiment of this new DNA of change that every one of us is now part of. The nation is not so much about places, about people. In fact, there's tribal nations that don't even have land. And that's how Excel Nation got started. It was the beginning of 2009, and we had all of our transformation team, our founding members around the world, use all the latest technology to collaborate globally, so that we launched Excel Nation as a non-profit organization in every country around the world simultaneously. And as an Excel citizen, each one of us has a declaration of interdependence. We have got a code of conduct. And you don't have to be a multimillionaire or have a big business in order to be one of the citizens of Excel. You simply need to know you can't do it on your own and to truly value your time. Because if there's ways to get there faster, why not take those ways? And of course that means getting to flow with others. And if there's ways for us as a generation to get there faster, to solve the global issues we have, surely we must take those ways. So as Excel citizens, every one of us is coming from a place where we are getting together locally in something we call circles, which is where we come from a place of belonging, and where we are then able to share our resources, our information in a structured way to ensure that every moment of our time is put to good use, regardless of what level of success you're currently at. And that this is something which now becomes a global movement, which you commit to for life. This is not the power of one, this is the power of all. A circle, like a cell, is a living building block which makes up the whole. And it's the Excel circles which make up Excel Nation. There's thousands of them all over the world, and it's our entry point into actually becoming part of this growth. I'm involved in 4 circles, and every one of them meets at least once a month. And when we meet up, we're meeting in different areas which touch different parts of my life. So, for example, one of the circles is a resort management circle, and I get to meet other resort managers, and we get to share opportunities, information, resources with each other. Another circle is on media, which allows me not only to share with other media owners how I'm doing and what my challenges are, but because we share all of this online, it means that I can also connect with the other media circles and see what's the latest knowledge they're sharing, the latest opportunities they're sharing as well. An Indigo Creators Circle, which helps me in the way that I get into my flow, and a parent circle. I'm in a parent circle here in Bali, which means that not only am I meeting with other parents in the schools where my kids are and seeing how we can help improve as parents, but we're connecting all the best learning we're getting with other parent circles around the world, and we're getting the best learning from them passed through to us as well. By also combining and sponsoring a circle right here in Bali of parents here with some Balinese kids, it means that we also, as a result of that, are sharing information and resources with them, and by doing that, ensuring that we have a way to measure our contribution as well as a way to measure our progress. The power of circles is the power of connecting collectively and doing it in such a way that we know the steps we need to take in order to actually create that rhythm and that beat of worldwide wealth around the world. I was born in Hong Kong and I went to school in Scotland, and I paid taxes in Singapore, and I live in Bali, and I have a British passport. So I call myself a global citizen, but that really doesn't mean a lot. Now I call myself an XL citizen because I have an XL passport. And what it does is it allows me to vote on change I'd like to see happen, and know there's other change makers around the world who subscribe to the same beliefs that they can make that difference and the same code of how we're going to do it. That as a result, we end up with the very best programs, the very best projects, the very best personalities taking on the steps to make that difference. To me, XL Nation is about not national interest, which is what every government has to be part of if they're there owning their land and focusing on the nation. This is about global interest. This is not so much about controlling economies as growing ecology. It's about our ability to actually collectively be able to make the change by having the structure to do it in the way that every other organized nation has done it in the past for whatever their outcome is. Ours just happens to be the first global outcome because we're the first nation without borders. I'm sure there'll be many more, but while XL Nation is there doing what it does, I find myself looking back at what someone like Buckminster Fuller said in the World Game, which is that there's already enough resources, and it's simply about the people who collectively get together and make that difference with the technology that exists. Mother Teresa, she says that poverty is not a state of no money. Poverty is a state of separation. And when we start to connect together, then we find that we've already got all the resources we need, and there's no limit to what we can give into that space of connection. And for me, XL Nation is about how every one of us, not by being separate, but by connecting in an effective way, are able to affect global change and achieve worldwide wealth.